Let's get ready to fight!
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another On the Table episode, guys. So, today we're going to be looking at some of the S.L.A stuff that I managed to pick up at Salute. Really cool concept. So, as I think I've said previously, S.L.A is basically exists in a post-apocalyptic world, in mostly an urban environment. So I'm led to believe, and it's a case of like I think it is the company S.L.A is basically owns what's left of the world, and they host these games that are televised, and they basically pitch psychopaths, criminals, murderers, cannibals, and all kinds of stuff against their own kind of like guys and their own fighters, in kind of like a Hunger Games-esque Running Man kind of manhunt style game and things like that. And I'm just going to move that because it's wrecking the white balance of my camera. So they kind of it's a bit of a weird one. Okay, I've not had my first game with these guys yet, so I don't even know if I'm going to like the game. But the models are certainly cool, and they'll be cool to put on a shelf. Otherwise, so. These are I'm just going to centralise them a little bit. These are the Scavs. Now the Scavs, these guys basically are these gigantic, hulking monstrosities. And whilst you would think that they would be fairly slow, cumbersome, and idiotic, they're actually incredibly clever. Meaning that they can salvage loads and loads of different types of battlefield technology. So that's not working, they can basically fix it. Now, in the starter set, you basically get 2 Scav Marauders, I think, and then you get a Scav Bully, or a Bully Boy, or a Boss. I can't quite remember what the name is, but that's the guy in the middle who, as you can see, is slightly more muscular than the other 2. Now, in the boxes, you can arm them a couple of different ways. I think this guy, you only get one way of actually building him. This guy, you get 2 ways, in which you can either have a pointy arm or you can have him like holding both of it. I wanted a bit more variation, so I chose for the pointy hand and then just the holding gun in one hand. And the Bully Boy here, I'm just going to call him the Bully Boy. Mainly because this is a Bully Boy shotgun which he's got, and he can either have that or he can have like a double-handed a crazy massive chain axe. However, he also comes with the spare one that you can have a slung across his back, but I'm not sure that might be too much and a bit too fragile. So that's that. Now the overall construction of these very basic. There's next to no technical things that you've got to do in regards to getting them to go together. One thing that I did find, though, I did have to, because it's been a long time since I've built anything metal, guys, since GW stopped making their metal stuff, so one thing I did have to do, and you guys can see it here, I've kind of had to go in with some green stuff and things, just to, pose the arms the way I wanted, and kind of fill the gaps and stuff. You might notice, I've also based these prior to painting them, and that's because I've not really got any black kind of basing material, so I'm going to have to paint this one, which is a first for me. I tried to create some black basing material by pouring a load of ink on a load of sand and rocks and stuff, and it kind of looks like tarmac, so I did this after I based the other one, so I think I might use this for another project or something. I'm not going to throw it away because it's a waste of ink and a waste of basing substrate, but yeah, so I made some tarmac, basically. Now, there's some of the cool things with these guys. The Scavs, they can do a couple of things. So they can use these counter token things here, which come within the starter set. Now, these are basically these can be used as they're basically scrap bundles. Now they can, from what I'm led to believe, they can put these down and they can use them to augment themselves. So they can chuck these down, and then other Scavs can come and they can augment their weapons, augment their armor, or augment something else. They can also be used as a thing called scrap mines. Now these are pretty cool again because you can plop these down and be quite tactical with them. So you can put them at the openings and stuff. So if something goes within 1 inch of them, I think, it's either 1 inch or 3 inches, I can't remember. They go off, and you can either do a frag, a poison, or a snare mine, and pretty cool. If I'm going to say so, at least it means you can be quite interesting with how you place them. I think you can place 3 each. Don't quote me on that one though, because I'm not too sure. But yeah, so they're really nice. We're going to have a look at some of the detail on them actually now. Just move those little tokens away. So the first fellow, I'm just going to zoom right into him here. It's a little bit difficult to see because the white metal, and I'll probably go into a bit more detail on these when I've painted them. But yeah, quite big, hulking. If anything, their arms look a little bit weedy. I would have probably expected them to see bigger arms, although I suppose they are trying to go for a more anatomical kind of feel to them. So there's that guy. His head was actually separate as well. Then we got the other guy with the pointy gun. I like the fact that their clothing is like very cobbled together and very, it looks like old raincoats and old dusters and old hazmat gear that's kind of like been cobbled together. You got like the hazmat stuff on the back there with like, the power cells and things, and like little blades and knives and all kinds of gubbins just hanging off them. And the bully boy, I like him because he actually looks how I would say he's got extra chunky arms. I think that's just the armour though, but he looks really, really cool. He's got additional guns and loads of little extras and stuff just all hanging off him. You'll see the detail a little bit more when I decide to paint these ones, guys. So without further ado, I'm going to skip ahead. To you it will be mere moments, but to me it will probably be several weeks until I get these painted. I will jump cut. Right guys, so I've been away, I have painted these rather awesome miniatures from S.L.A, and here they are. I've not bothered doing the little mine things yet, just because I can do those in another video and put them on the table episode or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, here they are. You can't actually see them, guys. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, really, really nice little break from painting standard GW stuff, and they're even based. Will you look at that? Pigs do fly. Hell has frosted over. They're based. They're fully done. I could use these in a game if I wanted to. I need to have a game. Someone play a game with me. Anyway, nice to paint. A few minor gripes, and that's just in some of the detail or lack thereof. This guy was absolutely fine. This guy was absolutely fine. However, I found that this fellow, his detail was rather lacking. On his face in particular. You guys can kind of see it there. There's nothing there. That's not me applying the paint too thickly. That is the detail not being there, because I applied this with an airbrush. Or most of this paint with an airbrush. And yeah, just a little bit miffed about the level of detail on that one, because I really like the general pose, and I like the way he's kind of like striding forward. But yeah, so just a little bit of an annoyance out there. I wanted to go for like a really grimy, kind of dirty, really swampy kind of look for these guys. Because obviously they're supposed to be Scavs, they're supposed to be like looters. They go around and they're going to be going through all kinds of stuff and horrible toxic wastes with their hazmat suits on. So I kind of grind them all up really, really heavily. In regards to that, I added quite a lot of the AK Interactive engine oil on the cloths, and I also used some of the AK Interactive, I think it's like pond grime or something like that, and it looks really, really good. It looks quite toxic. I also reciprocated that on the bases, and I added some static grass, of which I think I inhaled a bit there. It was floating in the air. Jesus. Pardon me from dying. But yeah, really, really cool. I'll be looking forward to having a game with these guys and looking forward to actually using them and seeing what they're like. And I'll probably end up getting a few more of them. They're really, really nice. I mean, some of the detail and stuff is, like I say, on the other one was a little bit lost. Especially some of the metal. I mean, it might just be because I've not painted metal miniatures for such a long time. If they made these out of resin, obviously it would be a lot finer, a lot more crisp detail. But overall, I think my favourite guy is definitely this guy here that's pointing. He kind of had the most amount of detail, and I really like his kind of like it's like a hazmat like rebreather like that, and then you've got the fans and stuff and the power pack on here, and it all just turned out really, really nicely. Oh shit! I just fucking knocked one over. That's not very good. But yeah. Really, really nice models to paint. I'll definitely be looking out for more some more S.L.A stuff in the future. yeah, guys, tell me what you think. If you're first time watching this video, leave a comment in the doobly-doo down below. Maybe even subscribe. You never know, you might see something you like on this channel. I'm going to be doing some beauty shots of these because I am quite chuffed with them. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, don't forget to like, favourite and subscribe. Yeah guys, have a great day. So see you now and goodbye.